Every second, without fail, the machine beeped, a high tone that worked its way down through the darkness. Jason couldn't see, couldn't move. His only sensation was the beeping. For a long time he lay there in the haze between waking and sleeping until at last he felt a hint of pain in his left leg. Steadily the pain grew worse, turned from an ache to a raw throb. He opened his eyes. "You're awake," a voice said dully. Jason stared at the medic, tried to remember how this had happened. The bullet, Rodney Taylor dropping, the taste of vomit, confusion, explosion. Now here he was. He thought he should feel something, anything, but he didn't. Instead, he felt strangely insulated, as though his emotions hadn't awakened with his body. With time, his thoughts ranged from excitement about being alive and going home to wonder about the voice he'd heard, the voice that saved his life, the voice that warned him to stay down.
What? What do you mean what?
He couldn't see any way to explain it without invoking God. He wanted to believe there'd been some mistake, a cosmic cross-wiring, and that soon God would realize. But that thought's absurd. God doesn't make mistakes. But increasingly, Jason found himself wondering, what God? Coming home wasn't as easy as people like to think. Jason's mother noticed early that things weren't right with her only son. It must be strange coming home like this. Is there anything you want to talk about? I'm fine, Mom. Really, I'm fine. He was hardly fine, and his mother knew it. I'm worried about you. What happened out there? They told you what happened. They told me what happened to your leg.
Jason. Talk to me. Please.
He tried. He described Afghanistan, the heat. Almost whispering, he described the warning voice that seemed to come from within his own head. He told her about the single shot that killed the closest thing to a brother he'd ever had. But he couldn't tell her about his reeling anger at a God that would let such a thing happen. Truth is, he was sick of hearing from the soldiers who get up in church and say, "God saved my life." You know, great for him. But what about the millions of others who didn't hear voices, who didn't get any holy warnings to duck and cover? What, they didn't have mothers and wives and children praying just as hard for them? What does he think, that there aren't as many broken lives and dreams when these guys come home in boxes? Do you believe in God, Rooster?
Yeah.
You believe he's good?
Of course I do.
So he's okay with all this stuff? All the crap that people do to each other, he's okay with that?
Tell me about it. Or just one time, when I was a kid, I was laying on the tire swing when these 3 6th graders came and they pinned me down and they stole all my clothes and they tied me to the tire swing and just left me there naked. They didn't even find me till after school when the janitor came by. This is my life, man. I want to kill myself sometimes. But I'm stronger for it, and I mean, you can't take that away just because it's painful. I know who I am.
Your story ended well, Rooster. Other people's don't. Like my friend. He's killed and he left a wife and a little girl. Who's better for that? Nobody's better because of that.
Sooner or later, we're all gonna end up fertilizer, bro. It's just a matter of time. But this isn't the end of the story. The part where your friend, his wife and kids again, I mean, that's all yet to come.
So what do we do now?
We pray.
Jason wanted to believe what Rooster was saying. He wanted to believe in the ultimate goodness of God and His ways. But looking at the story from this end, it was still hard for him to believe it was worth it.